As a painter, I love contrasts, and this is wonderful, having a bright yacht like this on the harbour when the sun was going down. So the light's hitting it, and we've got dark water and dark landscape around it. So what am I going to do? I need to think about emphasising that brightness. So to start with, I'm not using white paint. I'm going to be painting around my object. In fact, all of these objects, I'm putting in one or two other yachts there as well, but paint around them and preserve that white of the paper. So I'm putting in some background first, and I can just see where those sails are to begin with. Then mixing up some colour and adding into it, so this is a nice wet and wet wash, and developing it to a great extent. I will come back to it later. And now placing in where those big rocks are as well. I'm reflecting the sky in those rocks by painting them blue to begin with. This is all in shade, and that will join them to the water, which is going to be surrounding them, of course. So blocking in all of the water area, leaving something expressive for some whites there in the water. I don't want a smooth look to the whole thing. And then when that's dry, painting over it and going around the yacht and just starting to pick it out so that the brightness of that yacht is starting to show. Carrying on with these blue-green marks, just one over another, just layering up a little bit, keeping on going, making my mixes a little bit stronger each time. And I'm getting a lot more movement in the water now as a result of that. As this dries, it will do a few things of its own. To do some of those wonderful watercolour things, and I'm going to try and preserve that within the water. Now that it's all dried, you can see that it's paler as well. So I'm going back over it onto dry paper, but I'm doing the same sort of thing, that I'm painting around the shapes that I want to reserve, and I'm letting the water in the watercolour do a little bit of the mixing on the paper for me. So gradually building up the strength and the darkness. This particular bit is really important, of course. I want to emphasize that sail. So being really careful, going in with a small pointed brush, adding a little bit of detail into the yacht, suggesting a figure or two, dark bottom of the hull. And now is the time to start building up the rocks as well, so emphasizing some of that darkness. So some nice juicy washes going into that, picking up some of the warmth in the background, bringing that down to the front, having some broken shapes where the water is coming up against those rocks, and keeping it fairly fresh. Now joining with a few extra darker marks through the water, that joins the water to the yacht, and then ending up with this, the finished painting. If you like this and you'd like to see some more, the full demonstration is on my Patreon site.